According to the LA Times, just over a year ago in September of 2018, Crystal Kincaid was headed home and she was struck by a driver heading in the opposite direction of her. She was 8 months pregnant, and the severity of the impact killed her and her unborn child. Before EMTs could even arrive, the driver of the other vehicle started live streaming the accident all over the internet. You're probably thinking, why would somebody live stream an accident where people had just died? I'm sure you've already guessed it. He was driving under the influence. This happens a lot more than you might think. In fact, the CDC said that in 2016, over 1 million people were arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol, and 28% of all traffic-related deaths were caused by drunk drivers. And did you know that in almost every single state in the United States, driving under the influence of alcohol is merely a slap on the wrist? Not only the first time, but also the second and even the third time you are caught driving under the influence, you are charged with a misdemeanor. Do you know what else is a misdemeanor? Things like trespassing and being caught with marijuana. And do you think that those crimes can have a similar outcome as drunk driving? Because I don't. The punishment for drunk driving does not fit the crime. The outcome of drunk driving can be detrimental, and it can cause severe bodily harm and even death to innocent people. If people were taught the severity of the action and the consequence for driving under the influence, I believe that we would see a huge decrease in the amount of arrests that are related to drunk driving. Driving under the influence can end in one of three ways. The first, the driver can get lucky. He doesn't get arrested. He doesn't get in an accident. According to MADD, which is Mothers of Drunk Drivers, the average person has driven under the influence 80 times before he ever got caught driving under the influence of alcohol. The second option is that the driver can get into a wreck, but nobody is fatally injured. The third option is that a wreck can be followed by a fatality, either that of themselves or an innocent person who just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Did you know that somebody dies of a traffic-related accident involving alcohol once every 48 minutes in the United States? Normally, the person who dies isn't even the person who is drinking. According to a study done in 2019 by a Journal of American Surgeon, being intoxicated actually increases your chance of survival by more than 6%. Now that we've talked about the outcomes of driving under the influence, let's talk about the legal alcohol blood levels. In 1998, Bill Clinton established a nationwide standard of legal intoxication, which is 0.08%. Up until then, all states had varying different legal levels. At 0.08% blood alcohol level, it is illegal to drive. You are considered too impaired to be responsible enough to get behind the wheel. Let's put this into perspective. Say you're 140 pounds and you're a female. You can have 3 4-ounce glasses of table wine before you hit your 0.08% blood alcohol level. That is this much table wine before you are too impaired to drive. At 0.05 blood alcohol level, which is right here at this mark, so this much alcohol, you begin to lose control of small muscles, like the ability to focus your eyes. Your vision is blurred, your coordination is reduced, and your judgment is impaired. It is also important to keep in mind different factors that come into play whenever your blood alcohol level is involved. Here are some different ones that you might want to consider. Weight. The heavier that you are, typically, the more alcohol your body can handle before you become impaired. Gender. Statistically speaking, men can handle more alcohol than women, even if they have the same amount of consumption and are the same body weight. Genetics. Not everyone handles alcohol the same. For example, a very large amount of people that have East Asian heritage lack an enzyme in their bodies that is used to reduce or to break down alcohol whenever it is consumed. Because of that, Their bodies cannot have very much alcohol before it feels the effect of it. And the last one is habits. People who drink a lot normally can handle drinking a lot more than somebody who doesn't, and they don't have the reaction to it that somebody who doesn't drink a lot would have. Lastly, I'd like to talk to you about the legal consequences of driving under the influence of alcohol. Consequences are going to vary based on the situation that you are in. For example, if you get pulled over because you were swerving and they do a breathalyzer and you're at 0.08%, of course you're going to be in trouble, but chances are you're going to be slapped with a misdemeanor. Now, let's say you swerved and you hit a pregnant mom and you killed her and you killed the unborn child. You're going to be in a lot more trouble. You were not only driving under the influence of alcohol, but you also killed 2 people. Even if you are not considered legally intoxicated, are you still feeling 100% clear to drive? Because, like we said, at just 0.05%, you have all kinds of bad reactions, like not blurry vision, reduced judgment. Chances are, if you're out drinking and you've been drinking even a little bit, you're not in the right headspace to be driving. Even if you are just a little bit tipsy, there could be an accident. Is it really worth taking your life or somebody else's life because you didn't want to be responsible? Life is so precious. We see so many stories about lives being taken because somebody wanted to be irresponsible or they thought they were okay to drive. As we discussed before, over 28% of traffic-related deaths are caused by alcohol. That's a huge amount. The consequences are too great for you to not make the mature decision and call someone. Call a cab, call a friend, or you could even use your phone and get an Uber. I guarantee that anyone in your life would rather get a call from you when you were drunk saying that you needed a ride rather than get a call from a hospital or get a call from a police station saying that you didn't make it.